When you're looking at a record, whether it's a contact, company, deal, or ticket, you're looking to get a bunch of information that is going to help you learn more about your prospects. But what if the information you want isn't there? Well, by using HubSpot's vast range of customization, you'll be able to get the info you need at the right time. Hi guys, I'm Brie and welcome to another HubSpot How To. Today we are talking all about how to customize your records in HubSpot so that you can see the information you need at the right time. If you would prefer to learn more about this offline, there is a PDF for you in the description below. Let's get into it. So in order to customize your records, the first thing we're going to do is go to settings. Now, before you even do this, it's probably worthwhile thinking about on a day-to-day basis, what properties, when you jump into a contact or a deal, what properties are you looking for straight away? So generally, HubSpot will already have properties in there, things like the amount of the deal, first name, last name, email, things like that. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. But there is a bit more you can do with these customization records, so I will get into that in just a moment. So once you're in settings, you're going to go down to objects. So if you've been using HubSpot even for a little bit, you know that HubSpot has multiple objects. So we're talking contacts, companies, deals, tickets, things like that. So all the objects, that's where you can customize your record view. Alrighty, so when we're talking about record view, before we even go any further, I'm going to go into one of our contacts and I'll show you what view I'm talking about. So we're going to go into this one, for example, and you're going to see three areas of a record view, and this is the same across all objects. So we've got the left-hand side, which has all your property information. We've got your middle, which has all your activity information, including some additional tabs up here as well. And the right-hand side, we've got associations. So who is that contact associated with? Is it a company? Is it a deal? Scrolling down, there's a bit more though. You've got attachments, you've got playbooks as well, and a couple of other things. So that's the right-hand side. So we got left, middle, right. Now, going back to our settings where we were before, this is where we're going to start customizing. And I'm just going to focus on the contact for this example. However, keep in mind, it's the same process. If you click on companies, deals, tickets, exactly the same process, you'll just be picking different properties. So if you're picking a first name and last name to put onto your record for your contact, you might be picking deal name or company name for different objects. So just depends what you're customizing for. So you can see up here we've got record customization. I'm going to click on that one there. And the reason I brought up the left, middle, right before is you can see that we've actually got left, middle, right, and that's how they've organized it. So starting with the left sidebar, as it is the most, I guess, usually customized. So you have a default view, but you can also create team views. So if you have your HubSpot users organized into teams, you can also change the views depending on what team. So someone in a marketing team may not want to see the same thing as a sales team, for example. So I'm just going to edit the default view for now. And you can see we've got about this contact. So in this first section here, this is account wide. This is what everyone will see. So this is where you want to put the most important information. In order to drag a new property, you're going to go over here. You're going to look for the property that you want to add, let's say. Let's just use category for now, and you can see it's added it to the bottom of the list. Now I can also drop and drag this if I wish to, yeah? Okay, the next bit you can do in this is add sections. So for a contact, let's say you have a dog washing business, why not? You might have a section about the pet information. So pet's name, breed, sex, microchip number, things like that. So I can click add section and I can write something like pet information, yeah? And then what I can do down here, if I have those properties, I can be like, okay, let's say category of dog, the city of the dog, and maybe the priority, and then also be like the pet name or something. And you can see because I am in this new section, I've selected this new section, it's adding them in as I go. And once again, I can reorder it there. The final thing you need to know on this screen is that you can make it conditional. So if I click like that, it's saying that I need to put, basically if I put a property and say it's known or it equals a certain thing, then show this section. And that's really helpful if you have a lot of sections, but you only want them to show if you have specific information. So you could have one section for a cat and one section for a dog. And when that person selects cat or dog, it will only show the section that is relevant. Now for now, I'm just going to save this there, and that has been saved, and we're going to have a look at what it looks like now. So if I go back into contacts and I'm looking at the record now, you can see over here, we've now got that pet information section. So that's the kind of things you're adding. You're adding little sections with more information, and if you make it conditional, they'll only show up if you have inserted a certain property or selected a certain property. Now, pretty much the same thing goes for the middle and the right-hand side, but I'm going to quickly run you through that just so you have an idea of what to expect when you get into it, as you are looking at different things. Now for the middle one, we will go into that in a different how-to, just because there is some new exciting stuff coming out where you can actually add new cards and tabs and all that. So it's super exciting, but for now we're just going to look at the pretty, I guess, top level kind of stuff. So sorry, I clicked on properties. We want to go objects, and we're going to contacts to customize the contacts. I'm going to click on the middle column, and I'm just going to do the default view again. So as you can see here, we've got events, data, highlights, recent activities, tickets, all the things. So what you can do here is click add cards, and you can pick to show maybe the companies that are associated. You can look at recommended enablement, which is like your playbooks. So there's a couple of things you can add to that middle column there. If I click plus, that's where you can start adding new tabs. It might be very specific to a specific playbook or a specific workflow or something like that. But we will go into more detail around what you can do with that, because it's very, very cool. Alrighty, now the last thing is the right-hand side piece. So if I go into the right-hand side, remember this is all about associations and stuff like that. All right, so we're going to go into default view. And here, honestly, I'm pretty sure we've added all the things on the right-hand side, but once again, you can click add. The only thing we haven't done is payment links, but you can also remove as well. So if you're not using leads, if you're not using tickets, start to remove them so you've got a really clear type of view when you go into your contacts. So let's just remove some of these because there's way too many in here. All right, 500 years later. We'll click save. Okay, and now we're going to go back into contacts and have a look at what we've customized. I'm going to click on that. Okay, you can now see on the right-hand side, I've got a much clearer view of just the things I want to look at. I want to look at the contacts associated with this contact. I want to look at the companies associated with this contact, the deals and the payment links, and that's it. Don't want anything else. In the middle here, this is what we were changing before. So when I said events and stuff like that, if you scroll down, these are all the different cards you can start to look at. And if we go across, you can start adding those tabs there. And that's it. You now know how to customize your record pages so you can see the information you need. If you want to take this to the next level, check out conditional properties in our previous HubSpot How To. Now, if you're after a PDF version of today's lesson, make sure you grab it in the description below. If you feel like you've learned something today, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. If you would like us to talk about anything specific, please get in touch and we will make sure we include it in our upcoming HubSpot How To's. That's all from me, guys. Happy HubSpotting.